is someone's child, someone's spouse, someone's parent. That's one protester's perspective of the turmoil in Iran, as reported by his daughter in America. She spoke with CNN's Thelma Gutierrez.
This is Neda. She came to the United States when she was just 9 years old. She came with her mother, and she's just one of many Iranian Americans who've been watching the events unfold all weekend long. You said this has been a very emotional weekend for you.
Yes, it has been.
Your father's still in Iran.
My father's in Iran.
He's going to the protest.
Yes, he is. I was on the phone with him 2 hours before he was going to the protest, and I kept saying, I didn't want to hang up the phone, and I think I said I love you to him about 10 times. I was like, Dad, don't go. And then he was all like, Neda, everyone out there is someone's child, is someone's spouse, is someone's parent.
Your father is actually attending the protests in Iran, and you've been attending the protests here in Los Angeles. That's where we met you.
Yes.
Freedom in Iran!
I am not a very political person. This is completely based on emotion. This is not a political issue, it's a human rights issue. People are dying.
As you've been watching the coverage unfold, have there been sights and sounds that you have not been able to get out of your mind?
I saw a young woman on the floor bleeding. I was so emotional. I went to the protest and I kept yelling, and my mom came up to me and said, Neda, you know, don't yell so hard. I'm like, Mom, I'm angry. This girl died in front of my eyes on camera. She said, bye, and that was it. What do you mean don't scream? That time I still had not gotten hold of my father, and I kept calling him.
I know he's passionate and he wants democracy in Iran, and so I kept trying all the way here from the protest, but I know he's okay. I'm just emotional.
You finally get through to your father. What did you find out?
I've been trying to call him to wish him happy Father's Day. He couldn't talk well. Basically, he said one of these riot police with his baton hit him on the shoulder and went right in his face. So side of, like, one of his eyes is needs stitches, and his lip is needs stitches.
You said that the first time you asked your father not to go to the protest.
Yes.
What did you say this time, Neda?
I didn't ask. I didn't ask.
Are you going to continue to protest?
Absolutely.
Wow, Thelma joining us now live from LA. First of all, how ironic. She shares the same name, Thelma, as the cell phone video we've been seeing of the young Neda that was killed in Tehran. Has she talked about that more with you, and has she talked more with her father since you were able to touch base with her, and the fact that she did get through to her dad?
Yes, absolutely, Kira. She told me that when she heard Neda's story, that is exactly the reason that she was compelled to go out to the streets to protest herself, because of that young woman's shot of her dying on camera. But beyond that, I just spoke to Neda a few moments ago, and she told me that her father, like many of the other demonstrators who were injured in the clashes with some of the riot police, are actually afraid to go to the hospitals because they are government run. They're afraid they'll be arrested there. So her father needed stitches on his face, near his eye, near his mouth. Afraid to go to the doctor, he had to wait for someone to come to his house, a volunteer, to stitch him up. He says that many other people feel the same way. They have the same fears, and that there are doctors in private practice who are doing it quietly, who are helping people very quietly from their own homes and taking care of some of the injured. Kira?
Pretty emotional. Thelma Gutierrez, appreciate your report. Well, there's other news in the world, but we're not taking our eyes off Iran, of course.